Morning. This is Steve Onsman on Facebook Live, and I'm going to send this video out to my church members by email and post it on YouTube. This is the Wednesday Word for September 23rd, 2020. So thank you for being here. Here's the question from a church member, longtime member of Calvary, Jack Gassert. He asked this. It's a longer question. I condensed it. Will God abandon us for not being able to deal with climate change? Thank you again. These questions are great. I never get any easy lobs, which is fine. That's why it's called difficult questions. Climate change has been an issue for us for over 100 years. Really, the Industrial Revolution is what's brought this to a head. We know that the Earth has always cooled and heated, ice age, tropical, all this, but we've done it in 100 years, when usually it's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 years. Back in 1918, this is an article that came out a couple of years ago in our local Reading Eagle here in Berks County, Pennsylvania. There was an article in 1918 about how coal was negatively affecting the environment in the area, and the dirt and the grime and the health. They knew then it was causing pollution in streams. Every aspect of our environment was being destroyed. We have known also that our behavior is poisoning the earth for over a century, and we've done very little to make a difference. So for me, this is a moral and theological question. It is not a political question, although people turn it into that one. It is one about that science and government could solve if they put their minds to it. Science is trying, but government isn't really. So the question really is, will God intervene or let us commit global suicide? So here we go. I always start with John 3:16. For God so loved the world that God gave us Jesus. Is only, the world, not just people. From the very beginning of the Bible, God has shown us that it is the creation of the world that mattered the most. In Genesis 2, Adam is placed in the garden to take care of it. He's the gardener. He's the local guy taking care of God's place. So then we get to Genesis 6. God has had enough of humans and angels cavorting and committing sin. So God decides to destroy the world by flood and destroy every living thing, every flying thing. I'm not sure what the puppies and the birds did wrong, but they get bunched in there. And all that's left are aquatic creatures. Interestingly enough, verse 12 says, God saw that the earth was corrupt, and that all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth. So God decides to keep the earth, but get rid of the human beings and all the other animals except for the fish. It seems to me that God loves the planet enough to get rid of the human virus that is destroying it. So let's move then into the teachings of Jesus. In Luke 12, Jesus teaches about how the ravens and the lilies and the grass and the sparrows are all loved by God. They're more beautiful than Solomon ever was at his peak. God loves us even more than those, but God loves them too. So why do we worry about it? Why do we fuss? It doesn't make sense. Let's go back to into Isaiah 43. We read that even the wild animals honor God because God provides all that they need. And of course, there are mountains that are considered holy. The place where Moses encounters a burning bush is holy ground. So Moses has to remove his sandals. So the problem we have, I think, as Christians is that we have allowed the book of Revelation to pervert our understanding of what creation is and why creation matters. We teach that it's all about the destruction of the earth so that the saved will go to heaven. But in fact, we are told in Revelation 21 that the New Jerusalem will be here on earth and that God will then live with us. Now, God promised that God would not destroy the earth by flood. That's right after the flood in Noah. But God didn't ever say that we wouldn't drown ourselves, that we wouldn't destroy by flood, which is what's happening slowly to the earth. The earth is slowly drowning. We can see the rising sea levels everywhere. So in answer directly to the question, no, I don't think that God will save us. I think that we have decided through our own free will to murder the planet. And we will figure out a way out of it, or we won't. I don't believe God will intervene any more than God already has. The Earth is warming, the waters are rising, the population is increasing dramatically, it's overusing resources, millions are being displaced by climate change, and we have technology, we have brains, we have need, but I'm not sure that human beings have the will. And just as God was willing, millennia ago to allow us to just go, I think God's given us free will. I don't believe that God will intervene and stop us because we have the right to our own future, I guess, or lack of future. And I think all of this is really bad news, which should make us sad and angry and desperate to do something. I mean, the number one concern in the world is climate change. We have all these other things going on, this coronavirus pandemic, war, and all kinds of difficult problems. But ultimately, if we destroy the earth, that's it. And maybe it won't matter in the long run. Maybe God will just start over like God has often considered doing. I think in different ways, like Moses, right? Get rid of Israel and just start with Moses and get some other people. I hope it doesn't happen, but we are responsible to love the earth and to care for it. And if we choose not to be responsible about it, then God will just do something else. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. It's a sad topic, and I'm not feeling positive about it. But many other things are great, so I'm glad you're doing well, I hope. That's all the time we have. Please like this, share it. Tune in next Wednesday. Be safe. Wear masks. Wash your hands. And I will see you soon. Have a good day.